I'm out here in the yard with the Bluefin P-30, 44, 45 degrees, halfway decent afternoon. Just going to set the glide and maybe do some low power runs. A little bit of a breeze coming through here from the northeast. Pretty much going to keep it right here in the yard. If it does get up and get away from me to the southwest, over top of those pine trees, I got a 30-acre field. Not going to put that many winds into it. Mostly I just want to go through the motions here, setting it up, fly it again, see how it does. Gonna put the motor in it, give it a few winds, let it unwind, mostly to have the weight in there and for the center of gravity. So I'm just gonna throw a little bit of winds in the motor, put the prop on, and let it unwind. $20 times 5, there's 100. Should be good. Put the control wire through the hole closer to the fuselage. Nose block on. Line up my marks. And there it is. Motor in, ready to go. I don't have any dethermalizer fuse in there. Let that run down. Motor relax, prop freewheeling. Now I should be able to check the glide and see what happens. Let's put some winds in this bird. Start off with maybe, let's just try 100, work our way up. 100, and then maybe 150 and 200 once we see what 100 will do. So this motor has been lubed, it's broken in. It's actually a used motor. I'm not going to be pushing it very far, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to go 2 times, stretch, and put 100 wraps in it. Nothing to rush with rubber-powered free flight airplanes. Should be a casual, relaxing thing here. So that was fairly safe. Looked like level flight for half a turn. 100 winds, let's double that. Go straight to 200. With this amount of winds that I'm putting in here, and especially with this balsa wood tube fuselage, I am not using the blow tube. Pretty confident I'm not going to put enough winds in here today in this small area to blow this motor. Okay, 200 winds. See how it goes. Should get at least full 360 anyway. Murphy's Law. They fly so slow and they're so light. No damage. Could have been tissue damage if I would have caught the top of that post, but just bumped into the, I think it was this side, bumped into the leading edge. Didn't hurt anything. For this next flight, I'm going to put 300 into it. And I'm going to go through the routine of using the blast tube. What 200 felt like, I just want to use the blast tube, putting in 300. See if we can get it above that fence, get it up there a little bit, get a half decent flight in. So I have the insertion wire in the hook right now. I'm going to slide the blow tube in all the way down the rubber motor. Snaps on the peg. Take the insertion wire, hang it on the stooge. Now we'll wind it and then reverse that process. Same thing, I'm going to go 2 times stretch wind. I'm going to go for 300 winds. Since I'm not going for a real high amount of winds, I'm coming in kind of quick, which will actually cause it to ramp the torque up a little sooner. Stay stretched out farther, you get more winds and less torque. So that's 200 winds. And I'm getting into some double rows of knots here. So control wire, control the motor. Reverse the process using the wire loop here to get the blast tube out. And I have like a finger of a bend here and a 90-degree bend on the end to give me control over the wound motor. Back onto the short little piece of control wire in my left hand. And put the nose block on. And you can see how you need all your tools right here to be handy with this. A lot going on in this sequence. And these are the small rubber bands that hold the nose block on that I'm putting on right now. So a little bit to fiddle with, but I enjoy every bit of the process. So 300 winds on this Bluefin P-30. I have marks on the bottom on the outside of the tube to line the nose block up. Okay, 300 winds going up. So this is right climb, right glide. I got a little altitude. Still pretty safe. So I would call that a very successful test flight trimming of the Bluefin P-30. Set the glide, work my way up with my power runs. It's doing exactly as I would want it to do. Beautiful plane. Pretty good performing P-30 class of model airplane. That would be 30-inch wingspan max. Has to weigh a minimum all-up weight with the rubber 40 grams. 10 grams max of rubber with a 9-inch plastic prop. Such a beautiful night. This is what I would certainly call dead air. I don't think there's any thermal action. No dethermalizer fuse. 500 winds. See how it does. That was so beautiful. That is rubber-powered free flight model airplanes.